So first things first, let's just ask a really basic question. What even is a space station? I mean, we all have these images in our heads, right? The ISS, Mir, Skylab. But are those the end of the story? Or were they just the first tiny baby steps towards something way, way bigger? You see, the whole mindset has to change. The old way of thinking, it was all about just surviving. You had these incredibly brave astronauts basically camping out in a tin can, totally reliant on supply runs from Earth. But the new idea, the one we're exploring, wow, it's a self-sufficient, bustling city among the stars. It's a real hub for the future of humanity. Okay, so welcome aboard our future station. As you step inside, the first thing that hits you is what you don't see. There are no alarms blaring, no giant mission control rooms full of people frantically typing at consoles. And that's because this station, well, it has a mind of its own. This right here is the station's central nervous system. A super intelligent AI command core is running the whole show. It's plotting the orbit, managing every watt of power, and honestly, the most amazing part, it predicts when something is about to break and fixes it before any human even knows there was a problem. And that gets to the very core of this new relationship we'll have with machines in space. The AI handles the grunt work, the endless calculations, the constant monitoring. The human crew, their job is elevated. They're here to supervise, to make the big calls, to set the strategy. So if you're not using a keyboard, how do you actually talk to a super intelligent space station? Well, you use this. A brain-computer interface, or BCI. It's a direct connection between your mind and the machine. Control becomes as natural as thinking. And what you can do with this is just mind-blowing. You need to fly a little repair bot on the outside of the hull? You just think it, and it moves. You need to coordinate a tricky maneuver with your team? You do it silently, mind to mind. And get this? If you need to learn a complex repair, the skills, the knowledge can be uploaded right into your short-term memory. It's way beyond just control. It's literally enhancing your own mind. All right, so we've seen the brain of the station. Now let's go check out its heart, the place where people actually live. This is where the whole city idea really starts to feel real. Because this isn't about short-term missions. This is designed for living. The absolute game changer for living in space is artificial gravity. You just spin these huge ring sections of the station, and voila, you create gravity. This one thing solves the biggest health problem for long-duration spaceflight. You know, the bone loss, the muscle wasting. Here, you can live, work, and raise a family for years without your body falling apart. Now have a look at this number, 100%. What on earth could that mean? It's not a grade, it's basically a declaration of independence. This station is designed for a fully closed-loop life support system. That means everything, every drop of water, every breath of air, all the waste, it's all recycled and reused right here on board. You've got algae farms making oxygen, bioreactors turning waste back into soil. The goal is to cut the cord with Earth almost completely. And if something does go wrong with your body, the medbay here is like something out of science fiction. You have AI surgeons that can perform operations with a precision no human could match. There are treatments that can repair radiation damage at the genetic level. And for a worst-case scenario, emergency cryostasis pods to keep you stable until help arrives. It's not just about staying healthy, it's about being optimized for life out here. But hey, this place isn't just a fancy apartment building in space. It has a purpose. It's an engine. Let's head over to the industrial core, because this is where the future is literally being built. So, what fuels this engine? Energy. Just tons of it. We're talking about a compact fusion reactor, humming away right on board, providing clean, virtually limitless power. This abundance of energy is the key that unlocks everything else. So, what do you do with all that juice? Well, for starters, you power manufacturing that's impossible on Earth. You generate powerful magnetic shields that create a protective bubble around the station, stopping radiation and space debris. And of course, you run the massive computer systems needed for that super intelligent AI we talked about. And this is a really important distinction. The first space stations were just labs, right? Places to run experiments that were sent up from Earth. This station, it's a factory. It produces things, amazing things that you can only make in the perfect vacuum and zero gravity of space. And just look at what's coming off the assembly line. You start by growing flawless crystals for super fast computers or mixing metal alloys you could never make under gravity. The next step up, bioprinting human organs on demand. And the holy grail,
building new materials one atom at a time.
Okay, now let's pull our view way back and look at this station from the outside. You gotta understand it's not just floating there in isolation, it's the central hub of a brand new human network that's spreading all across the solar system.
Right. It's not the end of the line, it's the main intersection. Think of it less like a lonely research base in Antarctica and more like a massive international airport or a major port city. It's where everything and everyone passes through.
And you can just picture the activity here, can't you? You've got docks for ships coming in from the moon and long-haul vessels getting ready for the trip to Mars. There are automated tankers refueling everyone with water and metals mined from asteroids. And the station itself is constantly being repaired, maintained, and even expanded by swarms of little autonomous robots.
And even though it's the crossroads of the solar system, it's still tightly linked to home. And that link is instant, no time lag, and completely fundamentally unhackable, all thanks to quantum communication. It's the secure data line that ties all of humanity together, no matter how far out we go.
Which really brings us to this powerful summary idea. This whole effort, it's not about sending a handful of people into space anymore. The goal is to have human civilization itself, with all its industry, its art, its culture, operating from space. So, the biggest takeaway from our little tour is that paradigm shift. We've moved way beyond the question of how can we possibly survive out there. Now, the question is, what amazing new future can we build out there? It's just the next step in our story as a species.
You know, this station is so much more than a piece of hardware. It's a blueprint. It's a platform for a future we can barely even start to imagine today. And that leads